These fires are absolutely stunning. 5,300 structures have been destroyed. This is the Katrina of wildfires.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking the other day? This could end up being not in lives lost, thankfully, but in cost could be a bigger disaster than Katrina.
Yeah. People are losing their homes. They've been burned down.
Nothing left.
In several different areas. And joining us now on the phone, his house was burned to the ground. And I think you're going to know this gentleman. Gary Hall Jr. grew up in the Valley. 10 Olympic medals, 5 of them gold. Now lives out in California. Saw firsthand the devastation brought by the wildfires. And Gary joins us right now. Hey, Gary, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, hello.
First off, can't tell you how sad we are to hear about, losing everything. I mean, you're safe, that's the most important thing. But I don't think a lot of people can figure out what it's like to wake up one morning and go, gee, everything's gone.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. All worldly possessions, my home and my business gone up in smoke.
Wow.
Like that. One day, everything's fine, and the next minute it's gone.
Hey, Gary, let's start from the beginning. You're in your home, and what?
And you're in the Palisades, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So
yeah, I live right in the Palisades.
All right.
Probably a half a mile to a mile at most from where the fire started.
Okay. So you're in your home. When do you know that something's wrong?
I looked out my back window. I was talking on the phone, and I noticed an off-colored cloud. It's nothing unusual that it made me look any closer than that. But I do remember thinking to myself, oh, it's an off-looking cloud. I couldn't have been on the phone for more than 10 minutes. I hung up. I walked into the kitchen. I smelled smoke.
Ooh.
And I looked out the front window and saw a plume at the top of the hill that I live on. I live on a road called Lockman Lane, and it leads to the top of the hill. There's only one road to the top. And I'm seeing this plume. I take notice of it. I call my girlfriend, notify her that there's a fire in the area. She lives nearby. And didn't think anything of it. I think I even mentioned, the firefighters will put it out.
Is it fair to say, Gary, it's because you guys have fires every once in a while? It happens, right?
Yeah, this is something you live with, earthquakes and fire risk in California. I've seen fires before, but there's a fire department that responds, and it's usually taken care of with minimal damage. Some are worse than others, but this plume of smoke was going directly over my roof, and I knew which way the wind was blowing. We had already been told, the winds were blowing 60 to 100 miles an hour that day. I saw that plume of smoke double in size in less than a minute. And within another minute, I saw flames at the top of the hill, engulfing houses and charging down the hill toward my home. And I said, okay, this is it. I gotta get my value, like my prized possessions or whatever. I went in. I grabbed a painting of my grandfather and a religious item, an heirloom that was gifted to my daughter, and intended to fill the car up. But by the time I came out with that stuff, I was starting to get pelted by burning embers.
Oh, wow. That quickly.
Landing on the roof. It couldn't have taken more than a minute to have grabbed the painting and the one item, run out to the car. I was moving fast, sensing the danger. My medals I keep in my bedroom, probably 50, 100 feet away. I did not have time to get those. I grabbed my dog. I grabbed insulin because I have type 1 diabetes and needed to live. And it was raining down embers on top of me when I got in the car and drove out.
Gary Hall Jr. is joining us, Olympic gold medalist. Everybody here in Arizona knows him. We were cheering him on in '96 and throughout. And so all the Olympic gold medals they perished in the fire in your house. So it's
yeah. Every I mean, beyond the 2 items and my dog,
yeah.
All worldly possessions. I had to buy a toothbrush yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
So I can count that amongst my.
How much
Wow.
time
what I own.
How much time, Gary, do you think went from you're in the living room, you see a plume of smoke, to you grab the painting of your grandfather, which I think is wonderful. I have a picture of my grandfather too, a painting. And you put it in the car, and you're like, I got to go.
And the dog. Let's go.
And the dog. Yeah. How many minutes do you think that was that you had to get the hell out of there?
Less than 10.
Less than 10 minutes.
It was probably 10 from when I first saw the plume of smoke, called the girlfriend, and from the time I pulled out of the driveway, 10 minutes tops. So this happened within minutes. I mean, from the time I saw the flame to when it was like starting to rain down, I mean, 3 minutes. I drove down the hill, wild-eyed, stopped at the bluffs that overlook the PCH in the Pacific Ocean, and just saw the fire just charging down the hill. And left there, realizing that it wasn't far enough away where I was. Drove into the Pacific Palisades Village, the little town center there.
I know that.
Beautiful little
beautiful area.
setting.
Yeah.
There's 5 preschool, kindergarten, elementary schools all clustered there in the village. And I parked next to the park by those schools, and was communicating with my girlfriend and wanting to meet with her there. And I was waiting there for less than 5 minutes, and the fire had spread so quickly that on a different hill further inland, the fire came over the hill just, not even a half mile from where the town center is. Sirens went off, and it spiraled into mayhem, really real panic. The fire's dangerous, but the stampede, right, it can be more dangerous
on the way out.
And that's what I saw. I mean, just people screaming and running, and all those schools there. You can imagine how desperate parents were to get the kids to get them out of the school and get them to safety. So there were people driving on the sidewalks. There were people going 50 miles an hour through red lights and stop signs. There were crashes. It was mayhem.
Oh, gosh.
And, I'm trying to think, too, the movie that tried to depict Armageddon.
Yeah.
End time. And it couldn't even begin to capture, the thick smoke coming in, the blacked out sky, the flames and the explosions as it engulfed the town. Right now, nothing stands.
Yeah.
My business is Learn to Swim School, and I got these little kids, 2 to 8 years old, and I've been teaching for years. So I've seen these kids and families grow up, get to know them really, really well through that process. And so many of them are reaching out, make sure that me and my dog Puddles are all right. A lot of them hold up in a hotel room.
You're your sisters, right?
Everyone has lost everything.
All right. Gary Hall Jr. is joining us, Olympic gold medalist. Are you still living here in Phoenix, or are you back in California? Or are you dual?
Yeah, I've got a lot of family in Phoenix, and don't make back often enough. Have a great time every time I do. My family is immediate family, parents and siblings have all migrated out here to the coast. Have you
been able to go back and see what's left of your house?
No, it's limited access. All of my neighbors have security cameras and watch their homes burn. Via Ring or whatever, and if every house around me went down, the firefighters that I know are telling me that no buildings stand. You've seen the video footage.
Yeah.
It's just
the aerial.
So there's nothing to return to. I mean, I can go back and sift through ashes, and that'll be an emotional experience. But I'm gonna give it a couple more days until they get this thing contained a little bit better. Because right now, it's expanding into the Hollywood Hills and Laurel Canyon. That's going to displace more people than the Palisades fire. There's 23,000 to 30,000 people that live in the Palisades, and everything's gone.
Gary, I hope you know that there's so many people out there who's feeling that heartbreak, and so many of us here in Arizona feel helpless. We wish there was something we can do. We're watching this play out like a horror movie in front of us as well, and having you tell the story even more harrowing.
Gary, are the gold medals the thing you wish you had grabbed and just didn't have time?
Look, if I'm doing the priority list, my dog.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Insulin. I need that to live. And then, those two things, they got selected because they were closer to the front door.
Right. You just could grab them.
There were. Look, I would have been happy to grab two more things. The medals probably would have been the next thing. I had nice watches, jewelry and stuff like that. That's all gone. With monetary value that I would have liked to have grabbed. Birth certificate, social security card, something like that.
Yeah.
But
how about
there was 3 minutes.
How about,
I had 3 minutes from realization that it's time to run to. It closing in.
Hey, Gary, how about insurance?
We've heard a lot of horror stories about this.
You're going to hear stories about this coming. This is going to be an absolute disaster. Insurance companies are not going to cover the majority of homes that were burned. I can guarantee you that right now. Mark my words. It is a disaster. The most expensive, in this neighborhood, it's affluent. And you hear about the celebrities that live here. But, the median home price is, in this neighborhood is $4 million.
Right.
And up. So, we're going to rebuild that. It's going to take years. I can't imagine how many homes it is to rebuild.
I don't know. LA Fire said that they did an aerial assessment, and they said it was what was that number I had up there? 5,300 structures, from houses to
I was hearing
small ones, and
too long because I knew it was a lot more than that.
And that's just
and
this fire.
Count,
yeah.
The body count is a mentality of it. My neighbor to the one side of me is in his 90s. His wife died last year, and I can't be certain he made it.
You can't be sure he made it?
I can't. I don't. I mean,
oh God,
it was a run for your life situation. There were so few police and firefighters on site anywhere through that entire experience, even in the heart of the village. The ones that were there were telling everybody to run for their lives.
Just run for your lives.
Oh gosh. Gary Hall Jr. has been our guest, Olympic gold medalist. Arizona knows him, loves him. Thanks for joining us at such a tough time and telling us about your experience. It's horrific, and we're thinking about you, man, and we really appreciate you coming on today.
I really appreciate the support. It's affecting so many people. I'm one of many, and thank you. All right.
We wish you the best of luck.
Safe.
Gary.
All right.
Be safe.
You too. All right. Gary Hall Jr., Olympic gold medalist. The medals are gone. Everything really that he owns. Said he had to get a new toothbrush. I mean, you're starting from scratch. You have nothing. I mean, he grabbed his dog, some medicine, and that's it. He had socks and shorts on, and that's it. And he's in that car, and he is driving away, fighting for his life.
Well, he painted that picture.
Oh, it's crazy.
Of and I know exactly what he's talking about. It's Sunset Boulevard, where it runs right into the little village of the Palisades. There are the daycare centers, and desperate parents.
Oh gosh.
Running red lights, going through stoplights, driving on the sidewalks. We heard about car accidents happening and people just driving away because there was fire falling from the sky.
And his 90-year-old neighbor, he doesn't think got out.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's one of the ones, again, they did find human remains in some of the houses and that added to the death toll.
Like if he was taking a nap, Bruce.
Oh, for God's sake. You're 90, even yet you're spryest.
Even Gary.
Yeah,
because at the point it took what do you say, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
if you're taking a nap,
if you were just weren't paying attention at the right time. Checking the headlines on the way. We're on top of it.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gaydos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.